Welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. Today, we're going to take a ride on the Conch train. We're in Key West, Florida. So one of the best ways to check out Key West is by doing a conch train tour, because it takes you all the spots on the island, then you can go back and check everything out. So here is the conch train.
Where's Mel?
If you're taking the conch train tour, you can pick up your tickets at the ticket booth out behind the main store. Joining me on this trip, Ray, Colonel, Nancy, John, and Karen. Turn around and say hello.
Hey.
I mean, I could snorkel, but I used to work.
They also have bus trolleys that you can jump off and on of when you're in Key West. So lots of different ways to get around when you're on the island, including golf carts. And scooters.
One man barbershop for 39 years. Key West Art Center Gallery that was established in 1860, and that holds works of our local artists.
So as you heard, the conch train tour is a narrated tour. So as you go around the island, they point out all of the interesting features. I have this running right now at 1.75 times the regular speed, just so you can get a feel for what it's like. You don't need to, watch the entire tour. I'm going to give you some highlights. To the right there is the Mel Fisher Museum. The Atocha was a shipwreck that had over $300 million worth of gold on it, and Mel Fisher found it. The government tried to get a piece of it. The Supreme Court ruled in his favor, so he got to keep all of it. He has since passed away, but the family still maintains everything that's going on. Now, as you go around on the conch train tour, you can get off and on. They have actually 4 stops on the island at different portions of the island. The island is about 5 miles by 3 miles, but that allows you to take in some of the attractions as you take the conch train tour during the day. So they run about every 20 minutes. So what we decided to do was we would get off at the stop closest to the Hemingway house, and then we would visit Ernest Hemingway's house. And then the stop that is near the beginning up at Mallory Square, we got off there and we toured Truman's little White House. Harry S. Truman spent a lot of time in Key West, Florida, so we wanted to check out that property. That's how we took advantage of the conch train stops to utilize it to see all the various attractions that we wanted to see on this day. So they have the stops at Mallory Square, then on the southern part of the island near Hemingway's house. And they also have a stop over at the Key West Bight. And what that is the Key West waterfront, where a lot of the sailing ships for the sunset cruises and a lot of the charter boats, and it's a really nice waterfront area. It was the original working waterfront before most of the shrimp boats moved over to Stock Island. If you want to see what that area looks like and the restaurants over there, some of my older videos on Pepe's Restaurant and the Harpoon Harry's, they are all filmed over in that section of town. And they have that stop there, so you can get off, you can check out the waterfront, and then jump back on the Conch train and hit the next spot. Now, the cost of the Conch train, depending on where you buy your tickets, is going to range from $33 to $47. There are group discounts available and military discounts. In addition, there is reduced pricing for children, which is about $15 to $22 for kids. So I really think it represents a good value. Key West has 1 or 2 cruise ships coming in every day. The good news is they leave before the sunset. So if you go down to Mallory Square, you can see the sunset. The ships have left by then. But they do use the Conch trains to shuttle people from the one dock over to the main area in Key West. So you will see some trains that look empty that are running back and forth that won't stop for you. That's the reason they don't stop. They're on a separate contract to transport people back and forth to the cruise ship. So just be aware of that. The best way to utilize a Conch train is to get off and on at the designated stops. So overall, if you had to ask me what are the absolute must things to do in Key West, the Conch train tour is one. Looking at Truman's Little White House, checking out Ernest Hemingway's house, watching the sunset at Mallory Square. Of course, everybody, talks about having a drink at Sloppy Joe's, but I would recommend having a drink at Schooner Wharf over at the Key West Bite. And I would also say, if you can do it, get on the water somehow. Either take, the jet ski tour, go out for a sunset cruise, book a trip fishing. They have headboats down there that you can fish off of, or you can book a charter. You can go in the deep water on the Atlantic side, or you can book a backwater fishing trip. And you can see some of that in some of the videos in my Key West playlist. But those are the things that you absolutely must do if you're in Key West. As far as particular restaurants to eat at, there's a ton to choose from, and there's a lot of really good food on Key West. My suggestion would be, if you're only going to be here for a day or two, definitely select local fresh seafood. I was never a big fan of eating seafood until I started coming down to Key West. Yellowtail snapper, mangrove snapper, and hogfish, in addition to Key West pink shrimp. Those are items that you'll want to consider if you only have time for 1 meal or 2 meals on the island. If you're staying more than a day or two, there are plenty of restaurant choices. I've been coming down since 2004, and I still haven't eaten at all the restaurants that are on the island of Key West. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell and you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps too. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Thanks for watching.